Howdy folks, Effing Controller here, back with more Uncharted Waters New Horizons, playing as Ali. And I've commissioned most of the ships that I had in Morage. There's just one ship that I had to leave behind, the Fabergé, which is still in Amsterdam, but most of these ships are full of gold. We're going to take it down to Lubeck and see how much money we get for it. I just wanted to kind of brag about how cool my fleet is, honestly, at the start of the episode. But there you go. That's a pretty decent fleet right there. The Land Rover, the Foie Gras, the Air Jordan, the Tochinoshin, the Hakuho, the Asanoyama, the Matakiumi, Enho, Tobizaru, and the Versace. What a weird collection of ships. Anyways, almost there, but we're gonna have to wait just a little bit here, and there we go. Thankfully still allied with Turkey. So I do have to manipulate the market here. Well, I don't have to, but I intend to. And I should get... I think my permit's still good. So all of these ships have gold on them. Good God. Let's see how much money we make. Okay. We really don't have to do this. But I'm going to. $85. You bastard. That's less than half. Where did this guy learn how to haggle? Good lord. So I'm going to pump up the value of precious metals. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that off screen because you've had quite enough of that, I imagine. So we'll rejoin once I've pumped up the value of metal, and we'll kick things off again there. Alright, so I've maxed out the price of silver. I'm going to go ahead and start selling gold. The Air Jordan. Oh god. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and sell. There's no need to be fussy about this. But this is why I did this, honestly. Because now we have the money we need, but it just gets... you can imagine how difficult that would be with all that money that we had before. It just would be nigh on impossible, so... Is it gamey? Absolutely. But I can't help myself. Knowing what I knew, it was impossible for me to not do this. You may say that I'm a weak man. You may be correct. But I stand by my actions. Because frankly, I wouldn't have the time to raise all that money, I don't think. Alright. So there you go. We still have some silver on one of the ships, but that's okay. Let's see what Salim says. We've got 1,001 gold ingots, but what should we do? Why, go see Howel, of course, and buy that house. Okay. I'm going to fully resupply all of my ships for 10 ingots. Sweet Jesus. How long can we sail on that? 77 days. That's phenomenal. Well, we're a little slower because we have the full rig ships. But that's okay. We're not in a big hurry. I overall really, really like Ali's scenario. I think his plot is a little bit simplistic, but I like trading in this game, even though it is kind of repetitive. It's very satisfying to do things like I just did there. Make a ton of money like that. The system is a little bit broken, don't get me wrong. But I think, though, that if you do it like how I was doing it in the initial phases of the Let's Play, just kind of going around and trading various different goods, learning how the markets work, seeing what goods trade well where. That's a little bit more satisfying to me. Because making money in this game, you know, what are you going to do with it? We've discovered that there's only, at a certain point, you just can't do anything with it. You can build all kinds of ships, you can buy all kinds of fabulous treasures and weapons, but at the end of the day, it's there's not much leverage that it gives you. Certainly you can invest in ports. That becomes precarious, though. Obviously, the smarter thing would be to just not have that much money on hand and just go around and invest, and maybe keep a bunch of your money in the holds of your ships, I guess. But of course, we're talking about doing the smart thing, and you're watching an effing controller Let's Play, so. Gonna stop in Venice here. I think the bank will be open by now. Oh dear. Just because it would hurt way worse if it happens again. And I think I'm inviting the game to really ruin my day here, but I've come to see Howel. I wonder what would happen if I get robbed. Well, we'll see. Because I should probably give him the money in the storyline, and then the robbery will happen and it won't matter. We'll see. Looks like you've got the money. Why don't we settle all our accounts then? Now then. Whatever. Really? Well then, take the house. It's yours. I'm giving it to you for free. Huh? What are you talking about? You let me test you. Do you remember what I said when we first met? Once you become a millionaire, life seems kind of empty. When I became a millionaire, I thought to myself, why have I tried to make this much money? But you have found a purpose, those orphans. Actually, I'm kind of envious. But it won't be easy taking care of all those orphans. If you're not totally committed, then it's the children who will suffer. Think of the children! And I'd suggest you quit now. Actually, I've been thinking about turning that house into an orphanage for some time now. That's why I never sold it, no matter how much money I was offered. That's why I was testing you, your resolve. So, go on now. The children are waiting. Thank you! And we didn't get robbed. Okay. I guess Howel is kind of speaking to the same points that I was making about making money in this game. It is ultimately kind of empty. You can just go around and invest in ports and flex your muscle, dominate the world, but to what end, dear viewer? To what end? I ask you this. Gotta resupply, of course. Boy, it is not cheap keeping this fleet afloat. I can only imagine if we actually had a large number of crew on these ships. It would be very expensive. I don't know if there's any other Easter eggs that we can have in Ali's scenario. We're pretty much winding down here, but at the end of the day, Ali is just a good guy and not a super complicated character, which I guess is why I kind of don't have much to say about him. He's I wouldn't say flat per se, but he's not the most interesting of the characters in this game. He's just very well intentioned, has a very specific goal in mind. Not a lot of curveballs along the way. There's that thing with Masawa, but that was kind of, you know, take it or leave it. Let's go to the cafe first. Could have happened or not happened, and it wouldn't have changed much about his story. Anyways. Safa, Ladia! We finally bought the house! Really? That's wonderful, isn't it, Safa? Thank you, Ladia. Why are you thanking her? Thank me. Come on. Thank you too, big brother. Let's go have a look at the house, Safa. Thanks to you too, Salim. Let's go, Rustum. Come on, everybody. Let's go. Oh, boy. Ladia, aren't you coming? Who, me? Of course, you. And, well, what would you say to moving in with us? Ali, is that a proposal? Well, yes. I guess it is. What do you say? Everyone else has already left. Let's go. To our house. Let's go to our house! Yeah! Ali finally accomplished his dream, the orphanage. But he knew there were many more orphans out there waiting to be saved. So he set out again to sail on the bright blue seas, this time in search of children in need. What a good egg. That's a long, long career in this game. 2,157 days. Good God. Well, we did fiddle around with the trading challenge, I suppose, but trading is not really necessarily a very quick process in this game. Anyhow, but that's a long time. I'm not going to read it in Ollie's voice because I just can't bring myself to do it. Salim and I fixed up the fated ship that washed ashore and decided to go into the trading business. We had no money to start with, but I persuaded the townspeople with my promises of a tenfold return of their investment. An expensive promise, but I was feeling lucky. I knew I was on to something big. I knew that the trading mechanics in this game were easily manipulated, you see. See, I knew you'd work something out. But what did you mean by starting a business? What have you got in mind? Why, trade, of course, you simpleton. What other business could you do by ship? That line always makes me laugh. So mean to Salim. Come on, man. It turned out I had quite a knack for trading. Before I knew it, my gold had multiplied. I was actually using gold to trade gold. I repaid all my debts. Nothing could stop me now. I was ready to make my fortune. Of course, no mention of our trading challenge, but that's okay. That was on our own. Thank you. Smooch! Whoa. Wow. 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 At the cafe in the port of Basra, I finally found my sister Safa. Even though she couldn't accept me as her brother at first, I knew that someday she would. I knew it was you, Safa. It's me, your older brother. Ali Vazas. This is all too sudden. I'm not sure if I can trust you. Drama. I'm a lucky guy. Just as I grew tired of business, of thinking about profits day and night, I found a new cause to devote myself to, my orphanage. The smile of these orphans when I give them a home shines a light of hope to guide us through this crazy world. They've given my life new meaning. Okay then, Rustum, from now on, you're one of the family. Let's set sail for home. Istanbul, here we come. Claudia, aren't you coming? Who, me? Of course you. And, well, what would you say to moving in with us? Ali, is that a proposal? He's got that knife. The seven seas were full of dangers. Pirates, storms, and sea monsters. No mention of robbers in port, but that's okay. Not every mate had the mettle to overcome the obstacles. But you, with your courage, wit, and strength of heart, have bested even the worst of foes. The tale of your voyage will be told for years to come. The end. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this cruise through Ali's career. We have more careers to play through, and as a matter of fact, I've already finished one. If you weren't watching on Twitch, I recorded my sessions playing as Otto. I actually did a version of the playthrough on the Genesis version, actually. So look forward to that in the days ahead. But for now, I'll be signing off. I hope you enjoyed my playthrough as Ali. I hope you tolerated my silly readings of Ali's dialogue and his silly voice. I hope you could tolerate my banter and my ruthless manipulation of the game's trading mechanics. But I just can't help myself, as you know. This has been Effing Controller playing Uncharted Waters as Ali. I'll see you guys next time.